In the beginning of taking the web design and development degree, I had thought it would be an uphill struggle the entire time. I mean, the last time I was writing code, it was in the mid to late 90s when tables and frames did CSS's job for it. HTML couldn't do much back then, so it was pretty much straightforward. Now, the problem was designing websites for different browsers, and creating a website that looked and felt good without degrading into code soup was the problem faced by designers back in the day. Now, with the progression of technology and me being out of the coding field for so long, I was sure HTML had grown to new levels of complexity that would cause my head to hurt. Thankfully, I've come to find out that with each new version of HTML, they've kept it simple as they could. With CSS now having more browser support, the likelihood of website source page becoming code soup has decreased. Now, I'm not going to say the course isn't challenging, and I'm not even going to say it's easy, but it's a lot easier than I first imagined it would be. Now, the first program I'm going to show you that makes life easier for coders is a program called Text Wrangler. Text Wrangler is one program among many whose purpose is to simply highlight code to confirm to you that you have the syntax right. As you can see on the Text Wrangler page, the blue and red text is all syntax. The colored text is there to help you get the HTML and CSS tags correctly. Now, next is the cascading style sheet, which is up here at the head of the HTML document. As you can see here, we no longer have to use tables or frames to separate content and display it where we want it on the web page. It takes up less space, and there's order and structure to it, making it easier to find and change or update by someone else besides you. Now finally, we come to another handy tool that comes in the form of a plugin for the web browser Firefox. In the past, web standards weren't followed to the letter, so oftentimes a whole site redesign was needed when making a major update to the website. Nowadays, we have a handy tool that checks websites for you and see if they follow web standards designs. The purpose of web standards design is to give you your website a good 10 years before it needs an overhaul. Some elements of code even become future-proof, which means it won't break if a newer version of code is laid on top of it. Also, web standards make it easier on the person that comes behind you and has to maintain the website for the client. If the site is coded properly to web standards, the person performing maintenance will know what each section is and what they mean for ease of bug fixing and updating. Now let's see the tool in action. We got the Firefox already up here. Let's click on Tools, then Validate Local HTML. And as you can see, it's detected an error with the HTML code. Now if we scroll down here, we'll see what the error is. So we can see down here. And it'll also show us what line the error occurred on. So if we're using a program like Text Wrangler, we can go to the line of code. See, it said line 101. So we go all the way down here to line 101, and we can see here what the problem is, and we can correct it. Now the good thing about this tool is that you can validate your websites offline without having to publish them first. Before this tool happened, you had to publish your website and see if everything worked, and you had to go back and forth of uploading and updating until you got it right. So now, in conclusion, things have become more streamlined and ordered since the old days of coding. Some aspects of coding have become harder to address with ever-changing technology, and some things have become more simpler to make life easier for coders.